We're gonna give you every single fucking one. You know this shit, right? We're gonna give you every single goddamn one. I'm coming in right now. Fuck it. Let's just fuck it. Let's just get in this motherfucker right now. Let's just fucking get in this. I need it right now. Show me the next one. Heat Princess. Oh wait a minute, I fucked it up. I'm sorry. There we go. I'm not there yet. Hold on. Shit. There we go. Okay. Can I have the next one? Last but not least, we're gonna give it to you. We letting this one right out because nobody saw this shit coming. You're gonna have to cut it real quick because, sorry, stopping it right now. We're just, sorry, no, I'm not gonna. We're not letting it go out, and we're sending Jimmy away right immediately because he's gotta get rest. So Jimmy, go get rest. CULTURA. CULTURA. However you say it, that's how you say it. Now and forever. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am studiomogura. Studio MOGURA. Know this. Hit me up at the PayPal and the CashApp. Buy my book. Full Moon Nights. Available on Amazon. Barnes & Noble. Chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. Based on a true story. Check out my comic shop and blog. octotaku.com. Check out my TeePublic. Check out my Spotify playlist for all my original tracks, my full discography. And also be sure to pre-order my new album. Where is it? Pre-order my album coming out August 15th. The Reflection Blinds You from Seeing the Truth. I put the link on YouTube. And if you check it out, it's going to take you to the Bandcamp, eltopomiami.bandcamp.com. And if you pre-order it there, which you're going to get it the cheapest there, you'll also, if you choose, you can pay more than what it is, which is $5.99 for the full album. But also, if you pre-order it, you get the first 4 singles right now. Like, you don't gotta wait, because the first 4 singles are coming out. One's coming out on Tuesday, the next one's coming out in June, the next one's coming out in July, and then there's 2 in August before the album releases, because August, Tuesday's on the 1st, and then the 8th, and then the album release on the 15th. So please support, check it out. If you can go on actually Bandcamp and listen to the whole album. So even if you don't buy it or pre-order, you can listen to it. You can listen to it right now, and you can like it right now, so that when it comes out on Spotify, you be sure to subscribe to it. You're getting it on Spotify, or you buy it on iTunes, or whatever the fuck you do it, and do your thing, and support me, and, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay? That's enough of that. So can I get this out of there here? Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, now we begin, boys and girls. And they, if you don't have a gender, non-gender people, also those. We're very inclusive here. So if you don't like that, goodbye. What do I gotta say? What's there to say? You know, I was really energized. I had to take I had to calm down because this was like doing like 20 lines of cocaine at the same time, bro. This was like a rush, man. I mean, there was nothing like this, I'll tell you right now. Wow. I mean, whoo! I mean, wow! This was similar to when LeBron took it to the Celtics, Game 6, that one. It's very similar to this, but this was like, you know, he came in there and he took out the game from the very beginning, and you know from the very beginning, oh, well, there you go. This was like watching a little kid play with a box of matches, and like, you know, it's this little kid that you've told him a million fucking times not to do that shit, and he kept doing it, and then all of a sudden it catches, and he's like, you know, he doesn't burn up and like, oh, you know, become all scarred, but you know, the thing catches, and burns his hand, and burns his, but he you know, it instills the fear into him. That's kind of what this was tonight. But most importantly, there was a CULTURA last year that I talked about when we went over there, and we actually took a game 6 from them. And there was something that I talked about at that time, and I'm gonna reshare it. I know I did. I know I talked about this. I really hope I did, because if I go back there and I never talked about it, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what to tell you. But today was a great example of a thing that I like to call the ghost of Jason Terry. The ghost of Jason Terry appeared today. If you all know who Jason Terry is, he was a Celtics player that LeBron murdered in front of everyone in just plain sight, and nobody stopped LeBron. It was the craziest thing. Like, LeBron just went out there and just crushed his skull, and we just saw it all over the court, and it was just like, oh my God! Ah! It was so bad that we saw Jason Terry's soul come out of his body, much like Native Americans would say that when you stab someone in the dead of winter, and this, you know, the body heat contracts the air, and it looks, and the steam comes out, and it looks like the soul. You know, that's what Native Americans believe. There was a soul. You know, thank you, Al Bundy from Wayne's World. You like that, right? So, yeah, much like that. That is what we saw in the form of Jason Terry's, you know, his form. So, it was much like watching Roman gladiators slaughter some like poor like slave or something. It was just the same thing. And you know, ever since then, he has been cursed to roam, you know, the Celtics arena for eternity. And so, whenever there's a playoff game, specifically, it has to meet certain criteria. Okay, it's not gonna happen with every team. That's why it's really important for the Celtics not to meet the Heat in the playoffs ever again in the history of mankind, until aliens land and force us to use Duncan Robinson to take the last shot, or else they're gonna blow it everything, and then Duncan Robinson misses it, and then we all die because they blow up the earth. Until that point, the Celtics are cursed, and they cannot play Miami in the postseason, because when they do, and they have a home playoff game that is a big playoff game, the result against Miami, and you know, it's one of these games, there is always a potential. Much like in Mortal Kombat 1, when you're in the pit level and you do not use block, and there's like little silhouettes crossing across the moon. And you have to also commit the fatality. So you cannot pick Scorpion, because his fatality is hold block up, about 2 inches away. And that kills your opportunity to face Reptile. Much like that, certain criteria has to be met. And when it is, the ghost of Jason Terry will appear. Esto está escrito, no hay nadie que puede decir nada porque tú lo viste ahora mismo enfrente de tu... Tú lo viste. Todo el mundo lo viste. El mundo entero estaba aquí esta noche. Y todo el mundo lo vio. El espíritu de Jason Terry salió, estaba ahí, chilling on the court, next to that guy that was in Fast and Furious 2. For the love of God, I cannot remember his name. And I don't want to check. And he was like a really big time rapper, and he was my generation kind of guy. And I was like, I'm sorry, I just cut that off, and I just don't know. I don't know anymore. What is your name again? Whatever. Guy. The Ghost of Jason Terry possessed Jason Tatum. It's just a thought. Might not be real. But maybe you don't know. You don't know. Do you know? Do you really know? You don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The only people that know are the people that die. And they probably don't know because they're like, everything's just fine. I'm just living in a dream. For like 1,000 years. And it's like, and then they realize, oh wait, am I dead? And then boop, they wake up in another body. That's how it works. I mean, this was an incredible game that all around, this was another Spo Pat Riley game, I think. It's just some shit that this guy's doing this all with playing Cody Zeller. That's the craziest shit about this. Forget everything else. Is that Spo continues to put Cody Zeller out there and give the Celtics the opportunity to absolutely fucking annihilate them. And they do. They do. And still, it's not enough. It's not enough. Hero is not playing. Oladipo is not playing. You think the Celtics are in a state of shock? You think Boston is like, oh my God. Miami's like delirious right now. Like they don't even know what to do with themselves. Like they don't know how to celebrate this. We don't know how to celebrate this. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You want to celebrate it, and it's like, wait a minute, is this real? Are we dead? What the fuck happened? It's crazy. Am I streaming live right now? Weird. When the aliens fucking land, you give that ball to Caleb Martin. And you just go back to doing whatever it is that you were doing. Okay? When the aliens land and they ask us to send somebody that isn't Tyler Hero, that isn't this, and it's ultimately going to be either Duncan Robinson or Max or Caleb Martin, you send Caleb Martin. And you go back to work and you go back to hanging out. You don't even think about it. And the aliens are going to stand there and they're going to look at you with this like insane weapon that all you got to do is just press this button and the whole world is gone. Like, evaporated and shit. And they're going to look at you walking back to go back to work. And they're like, wait a minute. Hey, where you going? I'm threatening you with this. I'm gonna blow this planet up. I'm serious. If one of these guys don't make a 3-point shot, and they don't do it right now, I'm gonna blow it up. And con calma. Mr. Alien, appreciate it, you know, coming down here and visiting us, you know. It's really cool with the spaceship and the bomb and all that kind of stuff. That's really nice. Caleb Martin is gonna take care of you right now. If you need anything else, just let us know. And if you know, we'll send catering, take care of you guys. And if you want, we'll put you up in some hotel. It's all good. You can try out the human stuff and, you know, see what you like it. But, you know, we got to get back to work. I got shit to do. You know, I got to do groceries. And there's a sale on, like, blueberries. Buy one, get one free. So I got to get that. And, yeah, so, cool. Peace out. Hey, if you want to smoke later on, let me know. I'll be down. I want to try that alien shit. You know? Always down with that. And you go back to doing your shit. And the aliens are going to be like, what the fuck? And then Caleb Martin's going to go there and shoot a fucking 3. And they're going to fucking be like, oh, well, there you go. I guess. That's the reason. It's nothing to worry about. I mean, you want to sit here and you want to talk about Butler and all the things that he did and the headbutt and all that kind of... I mean, they're going to exhaust that shit plenty. Not only tonight, right now, SVP, for sure. Which I'm gonna watch. As soon as I'm done this, I'm going to go watch that shit, for sure. Tomorrow, ese hombre se jodió la vida entero. Just pack your bags, go. When you come down to Miami, just pack an extra suitcase and just check in to South Beach. Eden Rock. Tranquilo, bro. Not even South Beach, bro. Like next to Fountain Blue, ahí, because it's kind of South Beach, but it's not really South Beach, you know what I mean? And just chill there. Get it out of your system for the summer. You're going to need it. Because if you thought this was bad, there is something worse coming. I'm letting you know right now. That the Heat, this was light work. This was an average NBA Tuesday for us. Like, honestly, I've seen these games before. I've seen every game this season. And these motherfuckers drive me crazy, bro. And when they're playing like this was like... when everything's clicking. And we saw this maybe, what? Once, twice? 3 times? Maybe. Maybe 3 times in the regular season. So when it happens, you see it. And... there's no stopping this. Unlike Thanos, this is inevitable. I don't know what to tell you about Jason Tatum. Never heard of him. Who's that guy? That guy plays for them? Oh, my bad. He's a executive or something? Oh, he's a fan? I don't know. Just kept talking about him. Like, dude, where's this guy? I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen from or heard of again. Some question his very existence. It's the truth of the matter. I told you before. You know, nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to be all like, this guy's crazy. Eric Spoelstra is a predator. I don't mean like he's human and he eats meat. I mean like he's a predator with the fangs and the thing and the gun and the 3 dots on your head and done. Over. That is not a human being. That is a holographic system created by the predators that has been refined over millennia. They have been here since 1927, I think. And at some point must have established themselves in the Pacific. You know, in the Philippines probably. So, you know, that's how you get here. America's a beautiful place. Letting in predators. Y'all are worried about immigrants? All I'm worried about is worry about the predators, bro. That cloaking system is not a joke. As you can see. I told you, Mike Budenholzer. Thibodeau is waiting. Thibodeau is in line. He's like, yeah, with the hands behind the back, you know, and like just hanging upside down. Like upside down, like from his feet, from his ankles, like on the top of like a tropical tree, and like a coconut tree, down in Coconut Grove, just like hanging, waiting. You know, he needs some time. Well, Eric Spoelstra is busy right now, so he cannot rip out his spine, clean it with that thing, so it comes out nice and pretty and very like polished, and then he wears it. You know, he's going to wear it when he walks into the finals. I guarantee you. When he comes into the finals, he will be covered in skulls. Don't be shocked. I don't want to hear you say, oh my God, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Because I just told you. So you are prepared for the skulls. It's wild, man, when you see that shit. You know, that's why you got to go to the games live. You know, because nowadays with television and virtual effects, and green screens, and I mean, it's really easy. I mean, there's this guy that I saw on, it was Twitter. He like filmed an entire, like, the most badass Star Wars fucking evil Sith Jedi fucking shit I've ever seen. And he films that shit in his fucking backyard, like jumping on a trampoline, like, wah! And then it's like, he superimposes him going like that over a fucking TIE fighter. Like, and then jumping on top of a fucking X-Wing, and it's like him in the backyard going, and like his mom standing there like, we've come a long way. But when you go live to a game, I mean, you see it live. So you see that sometimes Eric Spoelstra's fiddling with his thing, and the cloaking device kind of like, whoop, 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 whoop. And you, oh shit, did you see that? Fucking guy's a predator. And like, bro, shut the fuck up, because you know you've had a couple beers in you. That's how he gets away with it. That's how you do it. But for real, I mean, Jimmy Butler destroyed that guy. I mean, that was a thing to watch. I wanted to say that him and LeBron, there is a clear-cut difference between him and LeBron. LeBron has won championships, sure, you know, but LeBron has gone through the grind. He went through a grind to get to that point, you know. So I'm not saying that he's like better or anything than LeBron. But what I'm saying is different, because you don't see, at least maybe, I don't want to say you don't, because I never saw all of LeBron's games in Cleveland. So I'm sure his games in Cleveland, there were games where some shit happened and someone got in his face and then he went off, you know. But here in Miami, looking back, the Game 6 in Boston, that he came out from the gate. Now, it wasn't something where he got lit up. That's something he came out of the gate from the very beginning. He was like, whoa. So I really don't like to count that. The one thing I do remember was in Golden State. He played Golden State once. And something happened, and the crowd started getting on it, and he killed them with like a bunch of threes at the end. And then that's where he invented the stomp. When he stomped on people, that's when that happened. So, isn't that? But it's not the same as like Wade's experience. Like when you watch Wade has gotten into confrontations with people, and oh, really? And then boom. And that is a Marquette thing. That's not really, that's a Heat thing. But really? That's a Marquette thing. Because Butler and Wade both went to Marquette. And there's no denying that they have incredible similarities to their game. And there's no denying that there's incredible similarities to their championship mentality, to that, like, you know, that mentality, that number one man mentality. There's no denying that there's something there in the water at Marquette. So send your kid to Marquette, and he will become like this. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, that's just... Punto y parte. There you go. It's right there. It's for everybody. Well, not for everybody, because you probably won't get into Marquette, because, I mean, it's probably incredibly hard at this point. Sorry. That's how it is. The real MVP of this game was obviously Duncan Robinson with his 15 points. As I tell you, again, that's all we really need from him. That's all you need from Duncan Robinson. 15 points. Just give me 15 fucking points. If you can give me 12, cool. We're good there too. But if you give me 15 points, that's a fucking guaranteed win. Forget that shit if that motherfucker hits 20 points. If Duncan Robinson hits 20 points, bro, like, it's not even all a win. It's like a slaughter. It's like there's just, oh my God, get everybody out of here. Watch out. Duncan Robinson hit just a 20. Tonight was 15. So tonight there was just like, oh my God, that was just a little bit controversial. Because Duncan Robinson came out and hit 15. And that's why everyone's like, oh my God, Duncan Robinson had a big night. I was like, 15 points, bro. For 15 points. Is that worth $80 million? Was that win worth $80 million? That's what you gotta say. Was that win worth $80 million? And yes, that win was fucking worth $80 million. Let me tell you something. A first round win in the NBA playoffs is worth like, what, $180 fucking million? Maybe way more than that. How much does that bring in? However much that's bring in, double that shit, that's how much that's worth. I'm telling you, man. For $80 million, that's a bargain. That's why it's really tough to get through the fucking season with this guy, apparently. It just got to make it. Because his little contributions during the regular season in the playoffs are so fucking huge. They're just so much bigger. And this team is completely different when he is really working it. I know Butler is like the man. And I know Strus is the man. And I know Bam was just absolutely fucking incredible. And Caleb Martin, again, I told you, aliens, Caleb, you're good. Unfortunately, you have to go to work on Monday. Should have sent Duncan Robinson to hit the open three for the aliens. Because then, yes, we would have been fucked. Okay? For Duncan Robinson to win against the aliens, he's got to be covered by like 3 guys. And then he'll make it. Maybe. That's not worth $80 million. I'll tell you that much. Caleb Martin? Vaya. Duncan Robinson's going to have to take a fucking pay cut. That's all I'm going to fucking say. Pay cut, that motherfucker? Give it to Caleb Martin. They mentioned in the broadcast Caleb Martin's brother too. It's really funny because I was like thinking that this morning and when I was in the kitchen. I was like, you should fucking get Caleb Martin's brother. I bet you anything, if we go get Cody Martin from fucking Charlotte, we'll turn him into a monster. I mean, we will. We had Dragic and his brother, but that didn't really work out as much. Well, I don't know. I know it should be more like, but I'm not. There's no need to be. This is light work. This is just, you come in, you grab your pill, you go to work, and you come in, come home, boom, 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 go to sleep, done. That's all it was. That's all it was. They're the ones that tried to make it something else. By stepping up to Jimmy. Which is like, why would you do that? They were doing really good, man. And even though the Heat were down at that point by like 9 or some shit like that, I still kind of felt we were still good. It was 4 minutes, and I've always told you before, look, I'm good with the Heat being down 10 with 2 minutes left, dude. 2 minutes left, down 10, and I'm like, oh, we're good. We got plenty of time. Down 10 with a minute left, I'm like, we are good with this team. No problem. I've seen it before. This year was this year was crazy, bro. This year really, I think, fucking elevated I think it elevated the Heat fan base intellectually And like we really now love this team. Like we are like it has really solidified this fan base as like one of the top fan bases in the league. It is one of the biggest ones in the world because of the big three. But those people that love the big three are now old, and they have kids. But they have kids. And they're passing it on. And those kids are already, tan viejo. Yeah, those kids are already in college, Those kids are already like, freaking, they have kids. Those kids have kids. Already, Son viejito ya. Ay, mi espalda. Those people, that generation now is here. So when you go through that big ass gap of like no championships and no kind of win, but it's like, oh, you're a good organization because we've got this coach guy and we've got Pat Riley, we've got all these, we can put it together. It's just we in that period, it was such a strange period of the NBA because it was the remnants after the big three where everybody, how the world. I don't want to just fucking point out the United States, because China does this shit too, and everybody does this shit in the world. Where it's like you just copy it, It's like Hollywood, There's a fucking best example I can give you, Nope, or Get Out. Excuse me, Get Out. Get Out was a big film. Jordan Peele. Everybody, oh my god, Get Out. And I pitch to shit now, and I'm looking for what are people looking for, and then if they're looking for horror, a lot of times people are like, I want something like Get Out. You know how frustrating that is to fucking hear? Big ups to WGA, striking out there, getting it done. Ask for more, please. But do you know how frustrating that is? It's frustrating. Don't need it. I'm sorry, I'm all over the fucking place right now. All over. I'm just, Wait a minute, hold on. Fuck, I ran out of drink. My bad. Whatever, we'll Sahara Desert this motherfucker. Lawrence of Arabia. That's how we do it. I don't even know what I was saying before. I lost my train of thought, to be completely honest with you. Because that's how we do it here. It's live, direct. I'm not scared. I lose it. You know why I lose it? Because I was hitting this shit all throughout the game. You know what? I'm gonna hit this shit right now. Fuck it. This shit could kill me. But whatever. Whatever, bro. We have any more? This is the Puffco. Beautiful Puffco. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend if you're in Florida, get your medical license. Especially now that you can, because you might not be able to get it in the future. Just saying. Might happen. People are crazy. People are insane out there. We are going to do... Here, I'll show you this crazy shit. This is the Live Resin Muse Cake Face Hybrid. Okay. If you can see what it looks like. It looks like yellow gold dust. Not really gold dust. It looks... I thought it would... I didn't realize it was crumbled. And it was like... It's very crumbly. It looks like little rocks, but there's very soft. It's like a soft, kind of powdery... kind of rocky, fluffy thing. Okay. And I'm not a real big fan of the live resin as much as I am of the wax. I guess, that's not true because, I hit it yesterday and I was like, this shit kind of sucks. And then 5 minutes later, that shit rocked me the fuck out, bro. Like, I was fucking stoned. Immaculate. And at some point, I was like, whoa. We're going to do a third overtime? Ah! Yeah, that shit was crazy last night. That was awesome. I'm not a big Panther fan. I want to say a big Panther fan. I'm not a big hockey fan. I don't watch hockey. You watch hockey? Go ahead. You watch hockey. No, you fucking don't watch hockey. Nobody watches hockey except for people who watch hockey. That's who watches hockey. Wait for the buzz. It buzzes. it's still moving, but now it's telling you, hey, you can hit me now. So I'll put it up so you can hear the. You're supposed to put water in it, but I don't because it's very. It's built a little shitty where like you put the water there, like, and it just. You gotta be very careful because if not, you fucking take it in, and it's really annoying. Here's the little buzz right there. Hope you did. For Jimmy Butler. Para ti. Sip it to rip it. Holy shit. I know it doesn't look like a lot. And it doesn't. But Jesus Christ. What the fuck are we gonna do with Cody Zeller? He's... I don't know. What the fuck is he? Is he a problem? We won the game. What if we didn't play him? And we lost? Play his ass twice. These 2 games. And we won. You're going to have to play him in game 3. Right? It's interesting. Kyle Lowry seems to like really know when he's not making his shots. Like he really knows, because when you see him take his shot, I gotta get something to drink, but I'm gonna try and rough it out. Where are we at? Oh, 41. Okay. When Kyle Lowry takes his shots with conviction and he fucking buries that shit, like he gets nothing but net, you're like, oh God! And then all of a sudden he starts just going right at it, and boom, boom, boom. But in this game, you could tell he was not looking for his shot. You could tell that he was just not really trying to get involved offensively. Like when it came down to it, he had to take a shot. He takes a shot. When it comes to him, he's gonna try and do it, and he's gonna try it. But even with those shots that he did take, you could tell it was just like he didn't really want to take those shots. So I found that to be interesting, and I'm gonna be curious to see him in the next game and how he responds at home. I imagine these guys are gonna really come out at home like fucking fucking annihilate these guys. But the thing is that Heat have never really been a good team with big leads. So I don't know if I even want that, But this postseason, they have been able to manage the lead. Like we saw this game, they had the lead, but they lost it, and they come back. It was a game of runs. This whole thing is a game of runs right now. Like this has not been like a dominant kind of force because we've been able to respond to them. Like, well, I mean, I take that fucking back, bro. We have been dominant in the sense that we fucking whipped their ass at the end of every fucking game so far. But yeah, I mean, I want to say it's still very competitive until the very end when at some point there's some breaking point. There was a moment in the game that decidedly flips everything and just like, whoa, you just ignited some shit and goodbye. It's typically Jimmy Butler and you stepping up to his ass thinking that he's not fucking good, and he chose you in his face one more time. I don't, oye, nadie te manda. ¿Quién te mandó a hablar a ese hombre así? You have seen this shit before, bro. You've seen that man in this postseason destroy Drew Holiday and just send him into like a spiral mentally, where in the post game he was saying he might retire. Crushed him. Why would you? Well, I'm not gonna say why. I'm not gonna ask anymore. I mean, it was great. It was great. You know, it was great because we haven't been able to see that, and it's another fucking disappointment that they both got 2 techs. So unnecessary. Should have let it go. Should have. If they would have let it go, that would have really, I think, made everybody like, wow, even more happy. You know, because the refs saw they weren't gonna fight. They both knew that they were very in their face. They were just talking. They both were both under control. Props to both Butler and Williams for being as aggressive and, you know, barking dogs, but not literally biting and fighting. Like, just, you know, it's competition. Loving it. In the middle of it. Big ups to them both. Because normally they get together like that, immediately, oh my god, and it's like, it turns into, okay, we're gonna go and review and issue out flagrants and blah blah blah, and 2 shots on this, and then they just fuck it up, man. And this is one of the few times, man, where the referees were still kind of shitty because they were giving fucking Boston everything in the fucking beginning. I mean, like, the Heat had one, like, their first fucking free throws were like literally with like 4 or 5 minutes left or some shit like that in the fourth quarter. It was ridiculous. But they kind of did. This was whatever crew this was. I don't think it was a different crew from what we've had recently. And even then, man, we still they missed a bunch of calls that they missed on White. While he was guarding Butler, like, he was just hitting Butler all the time. And it was just like, there was a lot of times they're just not calling it, and then they got themselves into this thing. So, you know, maybe I take it back. Fuck it, fuck the refs. They're assholes. Fuck them to hell. They did nothing. You know, it's fucking bastards. So why would you do that? But they should not have called no flagrant, no nothing. They should just let it go and cheer, everybody going crazy. Okay, cool. Because then Butler put on a show, man. Butler put on a show. I mean, that was what you saw tonight. You saw an entertainer. You didn't see an athlete on. You know, you saw an athlete, but you saw an entertainer. You saw very much like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is an entertainer. LeBron now, I think, he's grown into the entertainer, but from the beginning, I don't even know. I don't know really what he was. He was like, it's stuck in this weird kind of like, I don't want to say limbo or anything. Well, he was like in limbo. He was totally in limbo until he came to the Heat, and then they like kind of like, okay, we molded this thing into like something that can win championships, and then from then on he went and he did his own thing and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself either because we still got to close this shit out, bro. I mean, it's not easy. Heat were down 0-2 once before in finals. And it was like, oh shit, you know, if they lose this game, I think they were down like with like at halftime or like with, you know, we're going into the fourth quarter or some shit like that. And it was like, yo, if they don't pull this off, we're fucked. And that's when Wade became Wade. And Wade took over from then on and didn't let go of the series. And back then in the finals, the series was 2-3-2 format, 2 games, you know, at the, you know, the higher seed, 3 straight games at the lower seed, and then the last 2 remaining games at the higher seed. And that was fucked up because you gave advantage to the lower seed, which is a big reason why, imprinted in Heat culture, winning the first game of a away playoff series is the most important thing. Because while they do say, okay, you're coming back home and you have the, you know, it's 2-2, so it's like, it's, you know, you just can win one over there, it's no big deal. And that is true, and it could still go back and forth and whatever. That comes from the finals mentality. Because back in the finals, it was 2-3-2, which is going back to last week with Shaq. He had made a joke about, like, you know, Pat Riley, or I don't think it was even this series. I think it was in the Knicks series, where he was saying how, you know, Pat Riley was saying you just take a pair of clothes, but then they were like, oh, what would you mean? Why they're coming back here or something? They're playing another game in Miami or something like that. And he's like, oh, well, and tried to, Shaq tried to explain it and turn it into a thing, but he just didn't. Instead, he should have told him no, that it was that back in Miami when we played the finals were 2-3-2. So that's why, it was famously said, we're only taking one thing because when they win over their back, they're only playing one fucking game. So that's why that comes with that. But the whole thing is that when you win that one game, you had 3 straight home games. And Miami, 3 straight games at home, I mean, that's fucking, at that time with Wade, forget it, bro. You weren't winning that. And that's what happened. Motherfuckers didn't win that shit. Or was it? Oh, no, because they went over there. They won the Mavericks. So they did lose one. They did lose one. They must have. Because they won, I know they won like 3 straight. Yeah, no, they won the 3 straight. That's right. They won 3 straight at home, and then they won 1 over there in the Mavericks. And then they won 4 straight, excuse me. Which is fucking crazy. They were down 2-0 and then won 4 straight. So, but they benefited from that. That's the difference. And the difference is that a lot of those teams benefited from the 2-3-2 format. You're not benefiting from that here. You're coming down to Miami. And if they lose that, if Boston loses that first game, before that 4th game, they will go out to South Beach. And they will party. And they will go out, and they will have a good time, and they'll be like, you know what, let's just go out and have some dinner somewhere, and just fucking, just enjoy ourselves and have a great night out. And they'll go and they'll do that and have a great night out. And then they'll go on vacation. That's right. That's what's going to happen. Sorry. Oh, man. Incredible performances. Stuff of legends. Yeah, really amazing shit. I mean, I've been watching sports for like 40 years, man. I mean, since I got out of the womb watching sports. Mostly NFL. But, in the last 20 years or so, I really got into other sports. So, this was a crazy-ass fucking moment that will live on. You'll see this shit, like, in reruns and in fucking, like, highlight things and fucking... 50 years down the line, they're going to be talking about Jimmy Butler fucking destroying this guy. They're not even going to be talking about just Jimmy destroying this guy. They're going to be talking about Jimmy destroyed a bunch of people in this fucking series. So, I'm like, show me right now. Because right now we're watching some shit fucking play out in the universe. Okay? Like, this is a broadcast that's going to reach out, like, into fucking the depths of space, bro. Deep space and shit. Like, radio waves carrying this signal will be shown to a planet 10,000 fucking light years away. Aliens will see this shit. And they will want to challenge us with a fucking 3. And so they will use their fucking light speed technology to fold fucking space. Much like the people on Arrakis. With spice. They will fold space. They will show up here. They will put a ball in our hands and tell us to choose. Either Caleb Martin or Duncan Robinson. And remember, you have to send Caleb Martin. Do not listen to the media. The media will say, no, you got to send Duncan Robinson because Duncan Robinson has the most threes in Heat history. And he passes this Mario Chalmers and blah, 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 blah. We know now, more than ever, put the ball in Caleb's hand and go back to work. Okay? Leaving you with that. We will see you here tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow? Or no, not really tomorrow. It's going to be really weird. I don't know. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it yet. But tomorrow I'm going to record a special CULTURA, preview of Game 3. We're going to do it at the office remote. We're going to do it at the office. I think I'm going to just record it on my phone and then bring that here and then just show it with this right before the game. Or even tomorrow night. But it's basically going to be, a CULTURA special with a special guest, my primo Silvito. And I'm going to hope that I can set it up and we can get it out there and we can just do something. And yeah, we're just going to talk about the Heat. We're just gonna, very similar to how we do things here. Just talking about it, and just, listen to this, great, Dominican guy just go, off on the Heat. And it's going to be great, trust me. So we're going to try and do that tomorrow. Maybe live streaming. I really don't know, because if I had, for me to live stream it, I had to take my entire fucking computer there, and it's like, I really don't want to take this computer outside of where I'm at right now. Not because, oh my god, it's not safe or anything, but just because, bro, this computer, to unplug it and with the Wacom and shit, it took me a really long time to kind of get the Wacom working. So to unplug that shit, I just really don't want to risk it, and then fucking having to plug it back in and then not working again, and I have to change the settings, and I just, that shit was a real pain in the ass to do. So rather than live streaming, because I don't have a computer that's like really good enough to handle this, I think we're just gonna record it, and then yeah, we're gonna record it, and then I'll come back here and then we'll run it. Okay, so be on the lookout for that, and then of course you'll get your CULTURA after next game 3, immediately after. Okay, win or lose. Because sometimes when they lose, I'm like, hell, fuck no, I ain't talking no, fuck this shit, bro. No. And that's, I'm sorry, that was regular season. This is not regular season, so we're going to do it now. And even though before, we were doing it before with the Knicks and with Milwaukee, I promise you, we're going to do it now. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. So yeah, man, I mean, con calma. Because the job's not done. This is just Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Light work, man. It's no big deal. There's nothing. There's nothing. This is expected. There's 2 steps. There's 2 more steps. 2 more steps. 1, 2. Boom. We're done. That's it. We're done. 1, 2. Done. Goodbye. See ya. See you next year, guys. And then we move on to the next one. And the next one. That's the one that matters. That's the one that we've been working to since last year. You saw how they did this shit? They did this shit because they knew 1-1 ain't gonna win this series. I'm pretty sure I posted that shit before the game. That I was like, yo, I think the Heat might win this one. Because if they win this one, that's how they win this series. That's how they beat the Celtics. They will not have beaten the Celtics, I think, this series if they let this game go and put fire, so to speak, in the Celtics' hands. By letting them take a game at home, and then they come back here, and it becomes a stalemate. And we're done with stalemates. We don't want to have stalemates. We want to fucking end this shit. Okay? We want to come out here and we want to stomp these people. Because we can and we should. And the motherfuckers were surprised. Oh, I don't know. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe Gabe Vincent outplayed these people. Blah, 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 blah. Bro, they hype up the Celtics, bro. They hype up all the teams. They don't hype the Heat, man. We've watched this team all season long. Like, these guys are good. That's why we've been pissed off at them all season long, because they were the fucking number 1 team last season. They were the number 1 team they were the number 1 team in the fucking Eastern Conference last year. A year ago. And motherfuckers are like, I can't believe these guys are good. Are you fucking kidding me? Maybe that's why I'm still like, I'm not like totally kind of like, yeah, I'm not. I'm a little kind of, okay. So yeah, that's when we'll do it. I think it's Saturday. Is it Saturday? What's today? Today was, what the fuck was today? No, today wasn't Thursday. Today Friday. It was Saturday. Was today Monday? What was today? It was Friday. It is now Saturday. So the game is not today. It is Sunday. The game is Sunday. That's what it was. So the game is Sunday. So we'll see you back here Sunday night after the game. I don't know if it was at 3:30 or 8:30. Whenever the fuck it is, whenever it ends, that's when this shit is. Okay? So stay tuned to that. I am Studio Mogura. Studio MOGURA. CULTURA. However you say it, that's how you say it. Hit me up at the PayPal. Hit me up at the CashApp. Check out the book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble. Chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s, based on a true story. Check out my comic shop, octotaku.com. Check out my TeePublic, and then check out the Beats on Spotify, and then also pre-order my album coming out August 15th. El Topo, right over here. No, wait, over there, right there. You see right there? Right there. Go to that Bandcamp link and pre-order the album at $5.99 or whatever, or higher if you want. And you'll get 4 tracks right now, and the album comes out in August. Okay. I'm just like, wow, man, this was like doing a lot of drugs. Like, wow, like great drugs, like really great drugs. Like, oh my God, there's another party. This is like the third day of Winter Music Conference, like the best winter, like a really good winter. You know, because sometimes Winter Music Conference is like it's all right. You know, you see these people a bunch of times. You know, the weed's not as good, the drugs, the people aren't as good. It's just like, yeah, it's okay, whatever. You know, it's like, and then there's one good party and stuff like that. But this is like one of those Winter Music Conference where like it's Monday, right? Like it's Monday, and you just come back from World of Drum and Bass, you know, and you're like, wow, that was just fucking Monday. And Winter Music Conference starts on Wednesday. What the fuck? That's what this was. Don't freak out.